Okay, hey, welcome to another episode of On the Wrist from Off the Cuff. Today we have another cool review for you from the brand Creux Automatic. Now, they're basically a popular Australian-based micro brand that you have seen featured on the show before. This was actually a really cool watch that they decided to lend in. It's currently discontinued and sold out, but there are some new variants coming soon, so definitely check the links below for current availability. Now, about this type of watch, I consider it, of course, an everyday watch. So some key characteristics and design when you're looking for something that can be worn every day. You're, of course, going to want that versatile blend of sporty and dressy attributes. Now, this is a very, very sporty watch. It's not really dressy, but I guess it's dressy in the fact that it is trying. It is doing things that dress it up because it's complex. I mean, it does from the use of materials to the choice of the movement, just to the overall timekeeping layout. This thing is cool. It's not by no means a minimalist dress watch in the classic sense, but it is a watch that is doing a lot to impress, right? Dress to impress doesn't necessarily mean you got to wear a tuxedo, but just look good in what you got. And man, does this watch look good in what it's got. Another kind of I guess category we could put it in is that integrated watch porthole style, you know, along with your typical Gerald Genta designs, you know, that are really popular right now. Everybody from Tudor to GP, Bell & Ross, Wempe, all the way up to A. Lang & Zone, you know, have really got into that kind of sportier, integrated, at least look, if not full on integrated. I mean, you guys see those Tissot's are really hugely popular right now. This is your Ghost V3 Mono, the CA-09-2, and this is your limited edition, and it is, you know, limited to 80 units. This is number 80. The Ghost series case design draws inspiration from the sleek curves and beveled surfaces found throughout modern sports car design. So this type of watch is, yes, it does have that really high-tech, high-grade, high-spec feel to it, and I'm really looking forward to sharing it with you guys. So with that said, let's go ahead, zoom the camera out, get this piece in hand, and take a closer look. All right, guys, so first of all, this is not for everyone by any means. Some people might be looking at this and they see something that's a bit gaudy. You can see, actually, look at that, how cool that is. Not everybody loves a skeleton. Not everybody loves an integrated watch. Not everybody loves a watch that looks like it's trying. But you know what? A lot of non-watch people will see this and be instantly impressed and think that this, I mean, it looks like the kind of watch that honestly, you know, cost 20 grand. I mean, this is not something that is regularly produced within this category. And when I say this category, I mean something that's actually attainable. This is a $3,200 watch on rubber. Some of you are going, oh my gosh, $3,200 for a brand I've never heard of. Forget that, because once you kind of dive into the specs, you'll start understanding why. But I mean, honestly, again, you start thinking about what this a spec of this watch somewhere else from a brand that you do recognize, let's say like a Hublot, then you see, oh wow, this is actually an amazing, very affordable alternative. So guys, the diameter on here is 45 millimeters, and then you do have a 12.9 millimeter thickness there, about 50 millimeters lug to lug. This case is titanium. It's brushed on top, as you can see, and then it has this nice blasted matte finish on the sides there. Very, very clean, very beautiful again, and really ties into that motorsports theme. Of course, you can see the forged carbon porthole style bezel there, screwed in very beautifully. You get sapphire with inner AR coating, and it's a looker, guys. You get the screw down crown, and of course it is signed CA for Creux Automatic. The movement inside is a Swisstech. The cool thing is I can show you the movement from the front or the back. So you're getting the Swisstech S24-SK8, which is designed and manufactured for Creux Automatic. It has 33 joules, a 36-hour power reserve, and a 4 hertz beat, hacking seconds, and hand winding. And you can see the seconds here is its own individual disc. Man, look at the way the light plays off of that forged carbon dial. But let's actually take a look at the back. Even the rotor itself has quite a bit of dimension to it. Really beautifully done, quite industrial inside, which is nice, and I think it suits the finishing. I mean, this is basically the grade level of, you know, hypercar motor work there in terms of the finishing and whatnot. Very, very, very handsome from that standpoint. And again, I know this isn't for everybody, but man, there's sometimes, even apart from style and you know, your own personal subjective preferences, you can understand that objectively something is complex, hard to do, and executed extremely well. That is the case here. I mean, this is not something that another brand would be able to just easily produce, because it's just this simple thing to spit out, like, you know, some time-only three-hand, you know, vintage diver, right? And, like, not only can anybody do that, everybody has done that. But here you're getting something very, very special. It feels special. You get that great skeletonized dial, you get the brushed hands. The date is at 6 o'clock and it's framed nicely. Not the most legible on camera here, but basically it's actually, as you can see, it's actually a skeletonized date. If I can get the light on it. Once I get too close, then the light kind of will drown out because the camera lens is reflecting black back on. You can see that even the really cool piece there, the logo is actually on the sapphire, so it gives it this cool kind of floating effect, which I really, really dig. So yeah, this thing is fancy. It's very cool. It's super luminova. It does glow blue. I'm assuming it's BGW9. Couldn't find the confirmation on their site. It has 10 atmospheres of water resistance, or 100 meters, which is definitely suffices for something like this. I mean, clearly this is not a dive watch or anything like that, but it's a very sporty watch. It has integrated lugs. It has this great gray FKM rubber strap. It tapers down from 32 millimeters down to 22. It does have this really nice stainless steel deployant clasp with titanium PVD coating there. Really well executed. And yeah, this is a looker. So let's actually get this on wrist and see how it wears. Okay guys, on my 7¼ inch wrist, you can see it definitely wears bold. But honestly, the curves and the tapers and the general shape, from me, help it kind of make sense on the wrist. It's not like it has some really thin strap and a big, you know, bulky watch head. It all just flows in that integration and those lines and those curves and those sweeps. Man, look at the way the light just dances off of this multi-finish, multi-color. Just, oh, so much, so many good things in there. I mean, if you love mechanical watches or skeleton dials, this is something really special, guys. You're getting a lot of cool stuff there. It's not just some generic, you know, movement that's been etched out and hollowed out in whatever ways. This is something that was very specifically spec'd for this layout, and I gotta say, it looks it. It looks darn good. Feels good on the wrist. Very, very cool from that standpoint. Definitely wears like a big, bold statement piece really should. And that's exactly what this is. This is something that sends a message that, hey, you know, I'm not down with kind of the basic everybody else type of watch. This is a very specific type of, you know, connoisseur is going to enjoy this one. And me as just a general watch fan, just from build quality alone, I'm loving this thing. Stylistically, Even at the scale, I mean, just it all comes together, guys. And I'm somebody, yet no, this isn't a one watch. You're not gonna sell all your watches, keep this one, and it's gonna be your everything. But if you collect, this is definitely something I think belongs in a collection of watches. So you don't have to force it to be dressy. You don't have to force it to be overly sporty. You can just let it be what it is, which is just a real flex in the world of mechanical timepieces, because it's doing so much, so many cool things, offering so many cool materials. You know, you're getting the titanium case, you're getting that forged carbon fiber bezel insert, fully skeletonized details there in the movement, all custom spec'd, and then you're getting the comfort of the ergonomics on wrist of this integrated FKM rubber strap with a sweet deployment that it all just comes together, man. I'm digging it. Sure, it looks like something that would cost a lot more. And for some people, that's a turnoff. Some people might think it's too flashy. Some people might think it's maybe not quite as genuine because it's in its efforts to look expensive, although it's not that expensive. But I would argue that to a lot of people, $3,200 is expensive. That is an expensive watch for me, and I have tons of watches, and I make a lot of money in my day job. And yeah, spending $3,200 on a watch is a lot to me. So it's not super cheap. It's that idea that, man, that looks killer, right? Like, there are certain sports cars that just look way more expensive than they actually are, or feel more expensive. And a lot of times it's the use of materials, it's that build quality. And they might not have the badge or the moniker to make you believe that they're going to be very expensive. But again, this is a $3,200 watch that feels like it could honestly be a $23,000 watch. So it's really, really good. So let's actually get maybe some loom shots and some low light transition and get into my closing thoughts. Okay, we'll go ahead and hit the lights here. As you can see, yeah, not a loom beast by any means. But you're getting some level of visibility there in the dark. But what I like to do is actually work in some low light transition, just so you can get an idea of how these watches render in more transitional lighting, less than perfect, because you're not always going to be standing out in the middle of a field enjoying direct sunlight. A lot of times you'll be coming in and out of a building, maybe walking underneath an overhang or the shade of a tree, or maybe just spending some time in the cabin of your favorite automobile. And you can get also some really harsh lighting here. You can see where the lighting shines from underneath the dial there. So you get daylight that goes all the way through. So this is a skeletonized movement, not just a skeletonized dial, right? And you'll see that is kind of a shortcut that a lot of brands will take. They'll basically just open up the dial a bit and then kind of have a very light skeletonization on the movement itself. Not the case here, guys. Look at the way the light plays off of that carbon, plays off of that titanium case, the way that it catches the multifaceted finishing on the hands and the movement there. That seconds disc, you get a better idea of there. Look at that date window at the 6 o'clock. So yeah, man, this thing is cool looking. Look at that. Whew. I don't know. I don't know. I have this suspicion that some of you watching this are just either I'm feeling this is going to be a polarizing review. Some people are going to be like, that is cool. That is a killer watch. I'm loving it. And there's going to be other people that are like, man, that's really just outside of my wheelhouse. And for those of you that this isn't for you, absolutely fair and absolutely fine. But for those of you that just, that's kind of part of buying automatic timepieces, right? It's just like, yeah, why wouldn't you just get a quartz or just use your phone, right? There's something that's a kind of a connection to the mechanics, the mechanical, and this just celebrates that. So takes it to a very high level. As far as model variants, definitely check the links in the description to see any availability currently, and then also the new version that's coming soon. In terms of comparable models, there are definitely more and more kind of integrated style, whether it be integrated on rubber or integrated on a bracelet. Steel, titanium, you know, whatever it may be, sports watches that are trying to capture that luxury aesthetic. But what the Ghost does, right, this Ghost V3 Mono, is it doesn't just capture the look of something very expensive, which it does. It also gives you a very luxury-like feel, and it's very bold. It's definitely a less derivative package. There are definitely some AP clones out there that you can get and make you feel like you got $1 million on your wrist, but this is something that has been designed, cared for, you know, painstakingly, just gone over with a fine-tooth comb, and I dig that, and I can appreciate Creux for going through all that just to quench a very niche buyer that's going to be looking for something like this. So I'm loving it, guys. I really dig this one. No, again, it's not a replacement for your Rolex Explorer. Okay, it's not a one watch. This is a you know, this is a statement piece for a collection, and it says, hey, I really enjoy mechanical timepieces. I like technology. I can appreciate mechanical just sharpness and capability and ingenuity and just unique design language. So bottom line, this thing is extremely well finished and executed. You know, it's a technically gorgeous Swiss-made timepiece that somehow manages to feel like it could be more akin to some wild, you know, 5-figure timepiece versus the 4 figures that it actually is. Like if this had another name on it and it was 15 grand, they'd have no problem selling. I mean, they sold these out. 80 of them. So clearly there's definitely a market for it. Whether you're part of that market, let me know in the comments below. And yeah, if you like the video, please do it like. And if you haven't already, please subscribe for more content just like this. Thanks, guys.